Let's dive in. Today we're tackling AI and how it's completely changing businesses.
Oh, yeah.
We're not just talking about, automating a few tasks here and there.
No.
This is reshaping how companies operate from top to bottom.
Absolutely.
It's like if a business is a machine, AI is rewriting the instruction manual.
It really is, yeah.
And to break it down, we'll be using the McKinsey 7S framework.
Okay.
So we've got strategy, structure, systems,
Right.
skills, staff, style, shared values, the whole shebang.
All the pieces.
It's all connected.
Yeah.
You tweak one thing with AI, and the whole system starts to shift.
And that's what a lot of businesses are missing, I think.
Oh, really?
They're treating AI like it's just a simple software upgrade.
Oh, I see.
They slap it on top of what they're already doing,
Right.
but they don't see the bigger picture.
Mm-hmm.
AI forces you to rethink your whole reason for existing.
It's like trying to attach, a jet engine to a bicycle.
Exactly.
You need a
Right.
completely new vehicle to handle that kind of power.
100%.
And we have this research on a software company in Istanbul.
Oh, interesting.
They spent 3 years going through this digital transformation,
Wow, 3 years.
using the 7S model as their guide.
So they really committed to it.
Yeah, they did.
And I bet that wasn't easy.
I'm sure it wasn't, but their story really highlights the point.
What was it about their approach that stood out?
Well, they didn't just add AI on top of their existing business.
Right.
They used AI to completely change their strategy. And that had a ripple effect on every other part of the company.
I see. So let's unpack that, starting with strategy.
Exactly.
If AI is changing the rules of the game, what's the new game?
That's the big question.
It's not just about being better or faster anymore.
No.
It's about using AI to create something totally new. New products, services, ways of interacting with customers. The possibilities are endless.
It's like AI is giving businesses a blank canvas and saying, go create.
I like that.
And this Istanbul company, they're a perfect example.
Tell me more.
They were a traditional software provider, right?
Yeah.
Selling standard software packages.
Right, the old way.
Exactly.
So what did they do?
Well, they used AI to create these custom solutions for their clients.
Oh, wow.
They basically became a strategic partner instead of just a vendor.
That's a smart move.
Yeah, they saw the writing on the wall.
Mm-hmm.
They realized that the old way of doing business was fading away.
And they adapted.
Exactly. By embracing AI, they reinvented themselves.
That's amazing.
Yeah, they carved out a whole new space in the market.
It's inspiring to see that kind of transformation.
It really is.
But I imagine a strategy shift that big requires some major changes.
Oh, absolutely.
You can't run a marathon in ski boots, you know?
Exactly. You need the right gear for the job.
And when it comes to AI, the right gear is a flexible structure.
So those old, rigid top-down structures,
Yeah.
they're not going to cut it.
They're dinosaurs in the AI age.
That's a good way to put it.
Information has to flow quickly and decisions need to be made fast. Teams need the power to act on data-driven insights.
So what are companies doing to change their structure?
While some are experimenting with new models,
Like what?
things like holacracy.
What's that?
It's a system where you get rid of traditional management hierarchies.
Oh, wow.
You have self-organizing teams instead.
So no more bosses.
Not in the traditional sense.
That's a big change.
It is, and it's not for everyone.
Right.
Some companies are using AI to manage resources and projects in real time.
So they can respond to changes quickly.
Exactly. They can adapt on the fly.
That's incredible.
It is. It's like the structure itself becomes fluid.
Yeah, it's like an organism that reshapes itself to fit the environment.
That's a great analogy.
And you need that agility, the AI age.
For sure.
If you're stuck with a rigid structure, you're going to fall behind.
Absolutely.
So the structure is becoming more fluid, but what about the systems?
Right.
That's where the rubber meets the road.
Exactly. That's how the work actually gets done.
And AI is changing those systems too, right?
Oh, absolutely. We're seeing AI in every aspect of business systems.
Like what? Give me some examples.
From supply chain management to customer relationship management, it's everywhere.
Wow.
Automating processes, giving real-time insights, even predicting future trends.
That's a lot.
Think about something like an AI-powered ERP system.
What's that?
It's basically the brain of a business.
Okay.
It can manage inventory, forecast demand, optimize pricing, streamline logistics, you name it.
So it's like having a crystal ball for your entire business.
Exactly. It's a level of efficiency and insight that was unimaginable a few years ago.
But you need people who can actually use these systems, right?
Oh, for sure.
That brings us to skills.
Right, the human element.
It's not enough to have technical expertise in your field anymore.
No, not at all.
You need something called AI fluency.
What's that?
It means understanding how AI works, being able to interpret data, knowing how to work with AI systems.
And is that a common skill set right now?
It's becoming increasingly important.
I can see that.
And our research on the Istanbul company really highlights this.
Oh, how so?
Their success wasn't just about hiring data scientists.
I see.
It was about upskilling their entire workforce.
So everyone from the top down.
Yeah, from project managers to marketing teams,
Yeah.
everyone had to learn about AI.
That's a big commitment.
It was, but it paid off.
It sounds like they really understood that AI implementation isn't just an IT project.
Exactly.
It's a company-wide transformation.
That requires a new set of skills, a willingness to learn and to adapt.
And it sounds like this company really went above and beyond.
Oh yeah, they brought in university professors to train their employees on AI.
Wow, that's impressive.
It shows how seriously they took this whole thing.
They put their money where their mouth was.
They knew that investing in their people's skills was just as important as investing in the technology.
That's a great lesson for any business leader.
Absolutely.
But skills are only part of the equation.
Right.
You also need the right people in the right roles.
So let's talk about staff.
Okay, the people part of the equation.
And this is where things get tricky.
How so?
Because finding and keeping top talent in the AI world is tough.
I can imagine.
AI specialists are in high demand.
Makes sense. Everyone wants them.
But it's not just about finding data scientists.
Right, what else is important?
You need people who understand the business side of things, too.
People who can bridge the gap between technology and strategy.
Exactly. You need translators.
Translators.
People who can speak both the language of AI and the language of business.
I like that analogy.
And I imagine the competition for those people is fierce.
It must be a real battle for talent.
It is. So how are companies adapting to this new talent landscape?
Well, they're getting creative.
How so?
Of course, competitive salaries and benefits are a must.
To pay the bills.
But it goes beyond that.
What else?
They're trying to create a company culture that attracts top AI talent.
So it's not just about the money.
No, it's about the whole package.
What kind of culture are we talking about?
A culture of innovation.
Okay. Where people have opportunities to learn and grow. Right. And where the work is challenging and meaningful. So it's about creating a place where people want to be, not just a place where they have to be.
Exactly. It's about making your company a magnet for talent.
I like that.
Not just an employer.
So you've got strategy, structure, systems, staff, skills. What's next?
Ah, yes. Style.
How does AI change how leaders lead?
It's a big shift.
How so?
In the AI world, leaders need to be comfortable with data-driven decisions.
Okay.
They need to be agile, collaborative, and able to empower their teams.
So the old command and control style of leadership that's out the window?
It's becoming less and less effective.
Why is that?
Because if you have teams making decisions based on real-time data, you need leaders who can trust their judgment.
Right.
You can't micromanage in the AI age.
So it's more about coaching and mentoring than giving orders.
Exactly.
Creating a shared vision.
And fostering a culture of experimentation and continuous learning.
That sounds challenging.
It is, because you're dealing with a technology that's constantly evolving.
Oh, there's a lot of uncertainty.
And the best leaders in this space embrace that uncertainty.
They don't shy away from it.
No, they see it as an opportunity.
So this new leadership style, it must impact how teams function, too.
Absolutely.
Like how so?
Well, decisions are being made more collaboratively, and they're based on data.
So it requires a different way of working together.
For sure.
Teams need to be more agile, more cross-functional.
Exactly.
And they need to be comfortable using data to inform their decisions.
And communication becomes even more crucial.
Oh, I bet.
You have to be able to communicate effectively across departments and disciplines.
Boy, AI isn't just about technology.
No, it's not.
It's about people, it's about culture, it's about how we work together.
It's about all of that.
Which leads us to the final S.
Shared values.
How does AI impact a company's core beliefs and principles?
It's a fascinating question.
In what way?
Well, AI forces companies to ask themselves some tough questions about their values.
Like what kind of questions?
Questions about ethics and responsibility.
Can you give me an example?
Sure. How do you make sure AI is used ethically?
That's a good one.
How do you protect privacy while still using data to innovate?
Those are big questions.
They are, and they're not easy to answer.
It sounds like AI is pushing companies to think beyond just making money.
It is.
They have to think about why they do what they do.
Exactly. Their purpose.
And the Istanbul company, they really emphasized this, didn't they?
They did.
They integrated ethical considerations into their AI development process from the very beginning.
Smart move.
Yeah, they make sure their AI solutions aligned with their core values.
Like what?
Transparency, fairness, social responsibility, the whole 9 yards.
Wow, they really thought it through.
They did. They weren't just focused on the bottom line.
They cared about the impact of their AI initiatives.
Exactly.
So it's clear that AI is much more than just a technology.
It's a catalyst for a complete business transformation.
And the McKinsey 7S framework is a fantastic way to understand that transformation.
It helps us see how all the pieces fit together.
And how each element plays a vital role. Welcome back to our deep dive on AI and business.
We've seen how AI is changing the game, but now it's time to talk strategy.
Exactly. How do you win in this new AI-powered world?
That's what we're going to unpack.
It's not just about tweaking your old strategy.
Right, it's a whole new ballgame.
You have to completely reimagine what's possible.
And AI gives you the tools to do that.
It does. One of the most powerful things AI brings to the table is its ability to analyze data.
Data, data, data. Everyone's talking about data.
It's not just hype. AI can find patterns in data that humans would never see.
So it's like having a secret weapon.
In a way, it is.
What kind of patterns are we talking about?
Well, think about market trends, customer behavior, even emerging technologies.
So you can see the future.
In a sense, yes, you can anticipate changes before they happen.
That's incredible. So you can adapt your strategy accordingly.
Exactly. You can stay ahead of the curve.
It's like having a crystal ball that tells you what's going to happen next.
I like that analogy.
But a great strategy is useless if you can't execute it.
That's where structure comes in.
We talked about how AI is pushing companies towards more agile structures.
Right. Those old, rigid hierarchies just don't work anymore.
So what are some real-world examples of companies changing their structure?
Well, some are experimenting with something called holacracy.
Holacracy, what's that?
It's basically a system with no traditional management hierarchy.
No bosses.
Not in the traditional sense. You have self-organizing teams instead.
Wow, that's a radical change.
It is, but it can be very effective.
So how do these teams organize themselves?
They set their own goals, make their own decisions.
It sounds chaotic.
It can be, but it also allows for a lot of flexibility and innovation.
And speed, I imagine.
Definitely. These teams can move much faster than traditional hierarchies.
So it's a way to adapt to the rapid pace of the AI world.
Exactly.
Were there any other examples of companies changing their structure?
Sure. Some companies are using AI to allocate resources and projects in real time.
So they can respond to changes quickly.
Exactly. They can shift gears on a dime.
It's like the structure itself becomes fluid.
That's a great way to put it. It's like an organism that adapts to its environment.
So you need that agility in the AI age.
Absolutely. If you're stuck with a rigid structure, you're going to fall behind.
So we've talked about strategy, structure. What about systems?
Right. Systems are the backbone of any business.
It's how the work actually gets done.
And AI is transforming systems in a big way.
We talked about AI-powered ERP systems earlier.
Right. But that's just one example.
What are some other ways AI is being used to optimize systems?
Well, in manufacturing, AI is being used to optimize production lines.
So making factories more efficient.
Exactly. AI can predict equipment failures, reduce downtime, even design new products.
Wow, that's amazing.
And in retail, AI is being used to personalize recommendations.
Like when you get those, you might also like suggestions.
Exactly. AI can analyze your past purchases and browsing history.
To figure out what you might be interested in.
Exactly. It's all about creating a more personalized shopping experience.
So AI is making shopping more convenient.
And more enjoyable, hopefully.
And what about other industries?
Well, in healthcare, AI is being used to analyze medical images.
So helping doctors diagnose diseases more accurately.
Exactly. AI can detect patterns that human doctors might miss.
That's incredible.
It's already saving lives.
So AI is having a huge impact on how we work.
It's changing every aspect of business.
But of course, you need people who can actually use these AI-powered systems.
That brings us back to skills.
It's not just about coding anymore.
No, although coding is still important.
You need a broader set of skills.
What we call AI fluency.
Right. Understanding how AI works, being able to interpret data.
And knowing how to work effectively with AI systems.
So it's not just about technical skills.
No, it's also about critical thinking, problem solving, communication.
So those human skills are still important,
More important than ever.
Because AI can't replace those.
Not yet, anyway.
So we need to focus on developing those skills in our workforce.
Absolutely. That's the key to success in the AI age.
But even with the right skills, finding and keeping top talent is a challenge.
It's a real war for talent out there.
Companies are fighting tooth and nail for AI experts.
And it's not just about salaries anymore.
What else is important?
Company culture is a big factor.
What kind of culture attracts AI talent?
A culture of innovation where people feel valued,
Okay.
where they have opportunities to learn and grow.
So it's about creating a place where people want to be.
Exactly. You want to be a magnet for talent.
Not just an employer.
Right. You want people to be excited about working for you.
So attracting talent is one thing, but managing them is another.
That brings us to style.
How does AI change leadership styles?
Well, in the past, leaders were often seen as the ones with all the answers.
The ones in charge.
But in the AI age, that's not always the case.
Why not?
Because AI can provide insights that leaders may not have considered.
So leaders need to be more open-minded.
Exactly. They need to be willing to learn from the data.
And from their teams.
Exactly. It's about collaboration.
So it's less about giving orders and more about facilitating discussion.
Right. It's about empowering your team.
Giving them the freedom to make decisions.
And trusting their judgment.
So it's a very different style of leadership.
It is, but it's essential in the AI age.
Okay, we've talked about strategy, structure, systems, skills, staff, style, what's left.
Shared values, the final piece of the puzzle.
How does AI impact a company's values?
Well, AI raises some important ethical questions.
Like what?
How do you ensure that AI is used responsibly?
That's a good one.
How do you protect privacy while still innovating with data?
Those are tough questions.
They are, and there are no easy answers.
So AI is forcing companies to have some difficult conversations.
It is. It's pushing them to think about their values.
And their impact on the world.
Exactly. It's not just about profits anymore.
It's about doing the right thing.
And using AI for good.
That's a powerful message.
It is, and it's one that we need to take seriously.
All right, welcome back to the final part of our deep dive on AI and business transformation.
We've covered a lot of ground, haven't we?
We have, from strategy to structure to systems to, well, you get the idea.
The whole 7S framework.
Exactly.
It's a powerful model for understanding how AI is changing everything.
It really helps us see the big picture.
And how all the pieces fit together.
You can't just focus on one aspect of your business and ignore the rest.
Right. It's all connected.
And if one piece is out of whack, the whole thing can fall apart.
And that's why this Istanbul company story is so interesting.
They use the 7S framework as a roadmap for their transformation.
And they saw incredible results.
80% performance improvement in 3 years? That's impressive.
It is. It shows that this model can really work.
But let's get down to brass tacks.
Okay, let's talk strategy.
If you're a business leader, how do you actually use AI to create a winning strategy?
Well, the first step is to think beyond automation.
Don't just try to do the same things faster.
Right. Think about how AI can help you create something entirely new.
So, new products, new services, new ways of doing business.
Exactly.
Can you give me an example?
Sure. Imagine a company that sells physical products.
Okay. Like a clothing store.
They could use AI to develop a personalized subscription service.
So instead of just buying clothes whenever you need them,
you sign up for a subscription and AI curates a box of clothes for you every month.
Based on your style preferences, size, the season, all that.
Exactly. It's a whole new business model.
That's a great example, and it wouldn't be possible without AI.
Right. AI is the engine that makes it work.
So that's strategy. What about structure?
Well, we talked about the need for more agile and adaptable structures.
Right, breaking down silos, encouraging collaboration.
How do you actually do that?
That's the million-dollar question.
One way is to create cross-functional teams.
So instead of having separate departments for marketing, engineering, and sales,
we have teams with people from all those disciplines working together.
On specific projects or goals.
Exactly. And AI can help facilitate that collaboration
So
by providing a common platform for communication and data sharing.
So everyone's on the same page.
And they can work together more efficiently.
Yeah, that makes sense. Now let's move on to systems.
Systems are the heart of any business.
It's where the work gets done.
And AI has the potential to supercharge those systems.
Making them faster, more efficient, and more intelligent.
But where do you start?
That's what I want to know.
Well, the first step is to identify areas where AI can make a real difference.
So don't try to AI-fy everything all at once.
Right. Start with a few pilot projects.
In areas where you think AI can have the biggest impact.
Exactly. And then you can scale up from there.
So it's an iterative process?
It is. You learn as you go.
And you adjust your approach accordingly.
Exactly. Now, what about skills?
We talked about the need for AI fluency.
Right, but how do you actually develop those skills in your workforce?
It's a challenge, for sure.
It is, but there are a lot of resources available.
Like what?
Online courses, workshops, even university programs.
So there are options for every level of experience.
Exactly, and companies can also create internal training programs.
Yeah, mentorship program.
Right, where employees can learn from each other.
It's about creating a culture of continuous learning.
Where everyone is encouraged to stay ahead of the curve.
Because the AI landscape is changing so rapidly.
It is. What's cutting edge today might be obsolete tomorrow.
So you have to be constantly learning and adapting.
That's the name of the game.
Now let's talk about staff.
The people who make it all happen.
And in the AI world, finding and keeping top talent is a major challenge.
It is. It's a highly competitive market.
So how do you stand out from the crowd?
Well, competitive salaries and benefits are a must.
Of course, everyone wants to get paid.
But it's not just about the money anymore.
What else matters?
Company culture is huge.
What kind of culture attracts top AI talent?
A culture that values innovation, collaboration, and professional growth.
So it's about creating an environment where people feel challenged and inspired.
Exactly. You want people to be excited to come to work every day.
And to feel like they're making a real difference.
Right. And you also want to showcase your company's commitment to AI.
How do you do that?
Highlight your AI projects on your website, sponsor industry events.
Show that you're a leader in the space.
Exactly. Make it clear that you're serious about AI.
Okay, staff, check.
Now let's talk about style.
Leadership style.
How does AI change the way leaders lead?
That's a big question.
It is, because in the AI age, leaders need to be comfortable with data-driven decision-making.
So they can't just rely on their gut instinct anymore.
Right. They need to be able to analyze the data and make informed decisions.
But they also need to be able to trust their teams.
Exactly, because the teams are often the ones closest to the data.
So it's about empowering your team, giving them the freedom to make decisions.
And creating an environment where people feel safe to experiment and take risks.
So it's a very different kind of leadership.
It is. It's more collaborative, more data-driven.
And more about fostering innovation.
Exactly. And finally, we have shared values.
The ethical considerations of AI.
This is a crucial aspect of AI implementation.
Because AI is a powerful tool.
And it can be used for good or for evil.
So it's important to have a clear set of ethical guidelines.
That guide your AI development and deployment.
What kind of guidelines are we talking about?
Guidelines that address issues like data privacy, algorithmic bias.
Making sure that your AI systems are fair and unbiased.
Exactly. And also being transparent about your AI practices.
So people know how you're using their data.
And how you're protecting their privacy.
That's really important for building trust.
It is. And ultimately, it's about using AI for good.
To make the world a better place.
Exactly. That's the goal.
Well, we've covered a lot of ground in this deep dive.
We have, but hopefully it's giving you a better understanding of how AI is transforming businesses.
And how you can use AI to create a more successful, more ethical, and more sustainable future.
That's what we hope for.
Thanks for joining us.